football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into more important issues. It is Thursday, January 24th. Glad to be back with everyone. It doesn't feel, I guess we've talked so much Tennessee football since the bowl game. It doesn't feel like we've been apart from you since Monday, but we have. We were actually with you for a brief time on Monday. Now we're back. I'm going to be honest. We talked about it. Are we going to overreact? Yeah, we're going to overreact. Welcome to the overreaction show.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm fully in. It's over. Nico is him, and that's all you need to know.
If you know me personally, or at least I see this as self-aware, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Landon. I'm, especially when we kind of get into this environment where we're just kind of chit-chatting, I'll get really fired up about the Vols. I'll be orange glasses, orange goggles, full optimistic. Then we start breaking it down, and I start being more cautiously optimistic. I won't be negative necessarily, but I'll be more cautious, if you will. And as I was prepping about this show, I saw some of the questions that were asked. I was looking through the notes, and I thought, I'm gonna sound negative. I don't mean to. Cautiously optimistic is what I am. I won't sound negative to everyone, but I'm probably going to be more optimistic than you would think one would be after that performance Monday.
Yeah. I mean, like when you look into it, I think you have, especially last year, you have to like take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you not be? I don't even think excited is the right word. Like overly excited about next year, and there are some questions. But man, does an elite quarterback play mask a ton of question marks within the program?
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I want to go the route of mask a ton of things. Sounds like Heupel's trying to hide stuff. I think, though, that performance, while it wasn't spectacular, it wasn't a preview of a Heisman campaign or anything. I think it showed that Nico is prepared to play. It showed that Heupel and his staff have prepared him to play. It showed that he has the natural ability to be a leader. I think that's the biggest thing for me was it a stellar performance? No, it wasn't stellar. But the guy played a top defense by all accounts. He didn't really put the ball in harm's way. And I heard someone say, well, he may have had a couple times where he put the ball in harm's way against a good defense. Am I crazy? I don't remember. I remember one throw that was kind of tight, but it still wasn't in harm's way at all.
Hey, at the end of the day, 0 turnovers.
0. Yeah. I mean,
you can say he put the ball in harm's way if you want to, but the fact is he didn't give the other team the football.
They didn't argue. They said against a better team, which defensively we can sit here and argue about whatever. Before this game, everyone, not just Tennessee fans, said top 5. This is this defense. They're this good. We don't get to retroactively go back and say, well, a better defense. No, it's not how we play it. It's not how it's going to go. But I thought it was it just, for me, it kind of solidified where the program is, about where I thought it was.
Yeah, and that's 2 years in a row that Tennessee has whipped a really good defense. Clemson in the Orange Bowl. I don't. Is there just something about just orange fruit bowls that Tennessee
Peaches are orange, right?
They are.
That's college football. Well, it will still be a college football playoff. Will the Orange Bowl? The Orange Bowl is college football playoff too. Site.
Okay. So we're
Right.
in. We're officially in. Breaking news.
Am I crazy? It's always been one, right? Now, yes. I'm sorry. I just took nighttime cold and flu medicine. Hope everyone. I think there are a lot of people sick out there.
I know it used to be. I don't know how it is now with. Like, how will it be?
I think the rotations get heavier now because there's going to be 8 teams that play at bowl sites, correct? Because it's just the first round that is on college campuses, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. So the bowl rotation should get heavier. Speaking of bowl games and orange things tonight, and I meant to turn it on. I didn't get it on in time. 25th anniversary of the 1998 national championship game. Have you watched any of it yet? Even just the intros that have been played or the highlights that have been played on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Oh yeah.
Watched it all?
All in.
I'm gonna watch the game I meant to watch it before this. I've just been sulking in misery.
I was trying to put a bet on it on DraftKings when I saw it on TV, but
You taking
live bet wasn't available. What'd you say?
You taking Florida State?
No.
Over then? I don't bet on the Vols. I didn't think you did.
I will when I'm super confident in it.
Okay.
I'm feeling good.
Okay. I'm glad you are confident at some point in the Vols. All right, let's get into Citrus Bowl. Let's just jump into it. Let's have fun. It was a good Monday. It wasn't the most boring 35-0 victory ever. And can we call it 42-0 since people want to punish Josh Heupel for trying to score there? I feel like he should at least get the points.
Yeah, I think if this is like a game against UT Martin, everybody's like, God, that was so boring. But a game where you're going against like a top defense that people said and a Power 5 program, you beat them 35-0. There ain't nothing boring about that. That's fun.
I had fun, but in terms of football, I think we looked at each other and said, this is a pretty boring football game.
Well,
it was really before the James Pierce turned that game upside down. There was one side of the ball that did nothing for us. Nothing. It wasn't the defense played good. They had big plays, but overall, it was more that their offense is just that bad. Then James Pierce goes and scores a tutty on an incredible interception. I looked at you and said, who's that? Because in my head, James Pierce, and I know he's an athlete, but that was an athletic. That man should be maybe roaming in the secondary in a game. We have 0 secondary players.
That was my take. It was like, he broke on that. He has better ball skills than half of our DBs.
Yes. Rodney Garner, secondary coach next season.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? There really wasn't much exciting going on that side of the ball until then. Like, there were some exciting plays, sure.
I think it was just the excitement that it was Nico playing.
That side of the ball had plenty of fun.
Yeah.
Tennessee's
you're talking about Tennessee's defense.
Yeah. Well, and it's not their fault. They were going up against the most boring unit in the history of the sport.
Yeah. It was, I guess you could call it boring, but it was so nice to see Tennessee get off the field on third down 13 out of 15 times.
Sure.
That felt so good.
I would rather Tennessee be incredibly boring.
Yeah. Deacon Hill's horrible. And Iowa's offense, let's go ahead and say they are one of the worst offensive teams in history.
Deacon Hill's bad.
But
Deacon Hill's bad. Marco Lanes, he can run. He's bad, though.
He is bad, but he probably should have started over Deacon Hill.
I don't know if he is that confident, and I don't know if he gets going if he starts, though.
Okay. He had to be off the bench. Well, then you played Deacon Hill too long.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also probably a Tennessee thing. Against other teams, I think that take is right. As someone who's watched a lot of Tennessee football, I know that Marco Lane starts that game, they probably win by 10 because that's just the way it goes.
You forgot. Orange fruit.
So which superstition beats the other?
Yeah.
Is it
orange
fruit or Matty Mock? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's start with Nico. with this one. I thought he was extremely comfortable. We mentioned it, didn't put the ball in harm's way, ran the football a lot, maybe more than I would really want him to if this was like 2024, which I guess technically it was 2024, but the 2024 season. But dude,
what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Run the ball too much?
I mean, he was just taking, and it has something to do with like the pass protection, but he was taking a lot more hits than I would want my quarterback to take in a game.
Yeah, I think though, you look at your last two great quarterbacks, that was kind of the makeup of them, is they're going to run the ball a lot and they're going to have to break tackles in the backfield. I think that's also just part of playing in the SEC now.
Yeah, you don't want him taking those hits against Chattanooga, but yeah, against Florida, or in a bowl game, I guess you're cool with it.
Sure. I'm talking about getting out of the ability to get out of the pocket. You said run too much. I'm talking about the ability to get out of the pocket, know when to put your head down, tuck the ball, and go. I think there was, if you go back and watch that game, I think you can nitpick and find some scenarios where he didn't tuck and run, or maybe he did it too early. I can think of two off the top of my head that I don't think he tucked it or he got it down and ran soon enough. I don't remember exactly when they happened. I just remember thinking about them. But I'm sure you can go and nitpick that. Overall, I thought his decision-making in that regard was great.
Yeah. I think all everything said it. And that was my one critique is like, hey man, throw the ball away sometimes.
I don't disagree. I'm not convinced watching college football bowl games, playoff games. I'm not convinced college football players are allowed to throw the ball away anymore. I'm not convinced. It might be the old high school rule, which I've heard is gone, where there's no tackle box. But the rule is you have to be outside the tackle box, throw it away. But there is no tackle box. Therefore, everything's a tackle box, so you can't throw it away. Maybe that's the new rule. I don't know. But watching these bowl games, specifically playoff games and then our bowl game, I don't know if you're allowed to throw the football away.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, he just looks so comfortable. And we said it before, he's been here for a full calendar year. He shouldn't be deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it's a moxie about him. There was no pre-snap penalties. There was no like any time in the football game where you're just like, man, we don't know what we're doing. We're not lined up correctly. I just think he was.
There was either a crucial third down or a fourth down that we did not get a play in. Josh Heupel, I love you. Joey Halsley, I like you. Figure it out. The amount of times that happened this year is not okay. Not okay.
Yeah.
And then it happens in a bowl game you had a month to prepare for. That's absurd.
But it wasn't glaring to me.
No.
There was no like somebody ran the wrong route. There wasn't just like a ton of communication issues, it didn't seem. And I think that tells you a lot about Nico and his preparation. And I think, the coaching staff has prepared him in that moment to be able to take over the offense, and he ran it efficiently.
We still can't catch a slant, which I would like someone to riddle me. The ball, and then the catch Ramel makes on the sideline, absolutely incredible. Also a dot from Nico.
Yeah, he had a couple of those. That one where he throws in the end zone should have been a touchdown. Ramel just didn't keep running.
Thought I had a good tweet from that too. I don't know if people put Rommel and Ramel together. They should have. But that's beside the point. I might not know who Derek Dooley is, and I am envious of that if that is the case.
Also, Nico is like deceivingly fast. I thought he would.
It's like Hendon, right? It's so smooth.
I think it's more smooth than Hendon. Hendon, like sometimes he would kind of just like freak out about if he wanted to like juke or not and just fall down. Nico just looked. I mean, it looked crisp. It looked like
I think
he was about to hurdle.
I'm not sure who's smoother, but yeah, I think it's the smoothness. Hendon would get out of the pocket and all of a sudden be 8 yards down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know
how. He just looks like a natural runner.
And he's also
didn't really expect
6'4",
6'3"? Nico?
Yeah,
6'6".
He's 6'6".
Yeah.
Are you looking at a high school roster?
No, that's what he is.
Yeah, and you were what, 5? You were 6 foot on a high school roster?
Well, okay. We don't have to bring that up.
I was 5'10". What do you mean?
Yeah, 6'6", 206 is what he's listed on ESPN.
Oh, that's crazy. How
He
tall is
wears-
Joe?
He's got to be
6'5".
Yeah.
I thought Joe looked taller than him. I don't know. Whatever.
He's wearing taller cleats.
Exactly.
There's
also a game this year, and I know that Joe has dreads. There was a game, I think it was what Austin P, UTSA maybe, where Joe came out and it looked like his hair had grown several inches, but I could not see his number. I was like, is that Nico in there? Everyone's like, that's Joe, you idiot. I was like, well, his hair's normally not that long. Forgive me.
Yeah, it's scrunched up for you.
Yeah, I don't know. But Nico also doesn't really keep his hair that long in a helmet, which is smart because apparently you can just drag people down by it.
Yeah. It just felt natural for Nico. And I think it does give Tennessee fans, including myself, excitement for next season. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I think Tennessee they're returning a lot. I know we got some news about Gerald Mincy, but honestly,
Thank you, Joe. That is crazy.
Are we that?
I just feel like they look, I don't know, pictures I've seen. Maybe they've not been standing or seeing them on the field. I guess they've not been standing next to each other.
Yeah. I didn't even see what Joe did. He send
He just sent a picture of them standing next to each other, right next to
Okay.
each other.
Wow.
I mean, Joe's he's standing on a stool, but besides that,
Tennessee's got a lot of veterans coming back. They got Brew McCoy, number one. We're going to talk about that some. A lot of that offensive line's coming back. Cooper, John Campbell, Javonte Spraggins. We thought Gerald Mincy. Did you get this stupid rule by the NCAA that people can transfer as many times as they want to, pretty much? And Gerald Mincy's now in the portal. So after announcing a couple weeks ago that he's returning, he is now in the portal. Honestly, he didn't play well in the bowl game.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a grad transfer.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Because you can't transfer as many times as you want, right?
Yeah, the NCAA said you can transfer and you don't have to have a waiver anymore.
Oh, I missed that. Didn't someone sit out this year for a waiver? They did pass that afterwards?
I don't think anybody sat out. Not that I know of.
There was a kid at
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tennessee.
No. Duke or North Carolina, maybe? Where was that at? Someone sat out this year, I'm pretty sure.
Are you talking about Tez,
Maybe.
the wide receiver?
Maybe.
I think he got eligibility at some point in the season.
Yes, but he had to sit
This
out.
was like a recent thing.
Oh. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah.
I knew grad transfers were still the same rule. They did not have to.
Yeah, the wide receiver.
Wide receiver UNC. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know what I'm talking about. Get out.
But Gerald Mincy, I mean,
I told you, I don't think I'm joking. I need to, I guess, read about it more. This is more than likely to get more money from NIL.
and maybe it is, but bro, you ain't worth $1 million. I mean, Jeremiah Crawford took the position from you at times. Dane Davis did. I think he just wants to play left tackle, and he's not going to play left tackle here. John Campbell is. I understand that's where you get your money, is a left tackle in the NFL. But, dude, Darnell Wright, just fine. Top 10 pick. It doesn't matter. Also, if you go land,
I mean, I don't know what kind of money.
Portal, I mean, he was an issue. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know what kind of money he's looking for. I don't know what kind of money other people are getting paid, but Quinshon Judkins, there's no way he's actually leaving Ole Miss, right? That's for money. No.
I saw some stuff where he's a locker room issue. I don't know if that's true. I just saw that on Twitter today.
If so, I guarantee that person has ties to Ole Miss. The only people you hear that from ever are people at the previous school they're transferring from.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Apparently there was an issue in the bowl game with Jackson Dart and him.
Oh, well, I hate that it ruined that bowl game for him. That sucks.
Yeah.
The whole Miss Ryder expect people to believe this bull crap?
I don't know if it was an Ole Miss. I just saw that on Twitter.
I know. I'm not saying I'm just saying I would almost guarantee it that would come from an Ole Miss beat writer who's whether they like it or not, they're probably carrying water for Ole Miss. They're being told information that those sources are allowed to tell them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I'm Judkins, I'm like, dude, you're paying all these guys millions of dollars. I'm the best player on this team. I don't know if you forgot about that.
Tennessee saw it last year with Jalen Wright.
Yeah.
Which I guess he'd never hit the portal, but there were talks of it.
Yeah. Hey, money well spent, in my opinion.
I 100% agree. I think Ole Miss should spend the money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this seems like a money grab. I don't know. If he's a locker room issue, he doesn't transfer before the bowl game. He's a locker room issue all of a sudden after the bowl game, after they win 11 games. Give me a break.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a great day on Monday. You know who did it, though? Tennessee's defensive line. James Spears. You know, dude, Tyree West. Did you hear him in the his post-game interview with the media?
No.
Oh, man. All time. He might not ever speak to the media again because of it, but hilarious.
Great.
He was just like, yeah, this is my coming out party. He said, oh, yeah, Nico's going to lead us to the Natty.
Okay.
There you
go. Well, we got a question about it, so I guess that answers your question. I won't speak on it.
All in. But yeah, they couldn't run the ball. I don't think they wouldn't have got like 50 yards if it wasn't for that backup quarterback that just came in and was just like, I'm not even going to attempt to throw it because I know it's going to be incomplete or picked off. I'm just going to try to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iowa is one of the worst offensive teams. That might be the worst 10-win team I've ever seen.
Was it Iowa? Who did we say was the best worst team? Was it Iowa?
It probably was Iowa.
Because I think they're the best worst team, not the worst best team. I don't think you can win 10 games and be the worst of anything. So they're the best of worst teams.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, didn't they play like the last two games they've been outscored 59-0. Now it was Tennessee and Michigan, who's now playing for a national championship, but still.
Best worst team, baby.
Yeah.
Best worst team.
Anything else for the Citrus Bowl?
Citrus Bowl? Nothing specifically.
Also, it is pretty cool that Nico had 3 rushing touchdowns, and Iowa had only given up 4 rushing touchdowns the entire year.
Well, another thing, I'm glad you mentioned that along those lines. Tennessee goes 4 for 4 from the red zone. That's huge to see that. They're not super impressive red zone in terms of play calling. It seemed like they just kind of outmanned Iowa at times. Good play calling. Very simple, which is fine. You went 4 for 4. Why would you complain? Wendy's has built an empire off of that. You've got we'll debate on I mean your quarterback did it, sure, and save your running back, but also the best 158-yard performance you've ever seen in your life.
Probably.
All right, you heard it here first.
Probably. Dylan Sampson, another really good game. Good to see him get 20 carries. That's something Tennessee fans have been asking to get him the ball more, and he did, and he made you look like you probably should have done it more. I don't know if you take away from Jalen Wright, but Dylan Sampson deserved more carries. I don't know how you get it done. You just get it done.
I thought he was the 2 the whole time, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Also, man, we got some picks. James Pierce got a pick. Andre Turns-on, probably the play of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
Iowa scoring there, I think
first.
It would have made that would have made things interesting. They give up that golden opportunity after we shank a punt and give up a few first downs, and just an all-time throw by Deacon Hill there in triple coverage.
I mean, all the time in the world, the man could have ran in. Man could have walked in probably. Throws in triple coverage.
Waddled more.
Yeah, probably in his case. We were also right about at least two things. One you posted of James Pierce being a big threat on third down. Number two, I said the defense, you would either get a defensive touchdown or a defensive turnover would lead directly to a touchdown. Turns out, folks, you got both of those.
Both.
And from James Pierce, the player we said to look out for, I guess not look out for is the right word. That's like being in Yellowstone, be like, hey, watch out for the grizzly bears. You know, they're one of they're top of the food chain. Yeah, we know they exist. We know James Pierce is there to do well. I guess kind of the same along the same lines as grizzly bears, just absolutely destroy people. The man is a monster, and the interception for a touchdown he made was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, Tari Wesley good in that game. Elijah Simmons, Amari Thomas, just that whole defensive front looked good. I thought Elijah Herring played really well. Now, I know this is a game where he should do well, where it's just go get him.
Was it Herring? Someone was maybe watching 33's film from last season. Who was getting there like just their hair late every time. They were like, wait, the ref kind of little
shoulder check to the quarterback.
Yeah, just a few late things that I'm like, hey, if you're not Jeremy Banks, don't do that. If you are Jeremy Banks, Joey hates you for it. So
yeah, if you get a flag, don't do that. If you don't, I don't really care.
I feel like, though, if you never get it, it's going to come at the worst time. And if you don't get a flag, then let's go full conspiracy. Let's put the cap on. Then those non-flags will build into a moment where you get in a fight in the locker room the week before what turns out to be the most pivotal game in the last 20 years of a program that we lose and don't get the ability to go to the college football playoff. So maybe just stop doing it.
Dang. That was a lot. I didn't love
Butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. I mean, come on.
And then 3 penalties. Only 3 penalties? Where has that been? And 2 of them were on one drive.
Wouldn't that be nice? Also, speaking of like stuff that's happened all season, not and in this scenario, change versus not change. Me having to hear how good Alabama's been all year and how they deserve to be in the college football playoff. And then the 2 ESPN announcers being shocked their center can't snap the damn football. That's been a problem every game. So how much have you watched Kirk Herbstreit? And I know you're a busy, busy man. But don't pretend that you've watched Alabama all season. You watched them limp past a terrible Auburn team who once again proved it because we started questioning it, but they proved it again. Should have lost to Tennessee, should have not been in the conversation at all. And you tell us what they do and don't deserve. Turns out you don't know their biggest, most glaring problem of the season, that their center couldn't get the ball back to the quarterback.
Who is now in the transfer portal.
And I don't blame him.
Yeah, you got to.
I also think he should be able to snap the football to Jalen Milroe. I think both of those things can be true.
Also, that's why Cooper Mays is a huge part in this offense because it can ruin a team.
I mean, I came home. I fell asleep before I came back to Deuce's house. I stayed at home. I mean, I was yelling at. I was the only one in my living room. My dog's looking at me like, "What are you yelling at?" I'm yelling at Kirk and Chris being morons on national television.
Yeah, they're like, well, Jalen Milroe should be able to pick it up. I was like,
that too. Kirk blaming it on Jalen Milroe. Wait, what do you think's wrong with Kirk? Has he ever blamed a quarterback that didn't have to be blamed? That was weird.
Yeah. I hate it for Alabama, though. I really do.
Dude,
couldn't happen to a better team.
I was in a weird spot. I think we talked about it on the show Monday, how I would never cheer for Alabama, but I wouldn't be entirely upset that Michigan lost because of what else happened. No, I'm very happy Alabama lost. And I'm happy the way it did. That was the worst final play call I've ever seen, and you took a timeout for it.
Yeah. Not a good look.
And then Kentucky, they won't play in one of those. Texas had probably the worst Final Four plays I've ever seen in college football. But I love Washington.
They just always seem to win.
feel like they're going to struggle more than they think they are in the Big Ten. They're
I
going
don't
to
know.
miss the
Every
Pac-12.
time I've doubted Washington, they just keep winning. It was just like TCU last year. Every time I doubt them, they keep going and going. And
Good
then
news, they don't have to go to Georgia.
just when you have faith in it a little bit, they're just going to let you down.
Dawn. They ran what looked like a QB sneak. Not even a draw.
Yeah, I mean,
We didn't draw back at all.
Somebody
And it was a bad snap.
Yeah, somebody said, "Oh, I see what Alabama was trying to do, and it probably would have scored if he would have dropped the ball." That wasn't scoring from the 1 yard line. It wasn't. You weren't going to score.
And we're doing that against Michigan. Let's discredit Michigan for a lot of things. They're not as supreme as people want to make them out to be. They have a good defensive line. They have a good front seven.
How in the world
you run a QB sneak to the heart of it?
You had like 4th and 30 against Auburn, and you threw it up and made a receiver that you have really good receivers, probably better receivers than anybody in the college football playoff besides Washington. And that's what you do?
They don't take really any shots, too. They're late. Good shots, I should say.
Yeah. I mean,
also the fact that you see Christmas, they're making ornaments and cups dedicated to beating that terrible Auburn team, and they want to dog Tennessee, who turns out last year, what we know now, Landon, Tennessee kept Alabama out of the college football playoff last season. They would have 100% been in had Tennessee not beat them.
Yeah.
Some people will say LSU. I say shut up. Tennessee did it.
Yeah. Unreal play call. Hate that it happened to him, really do. But sucks to suck, man. When's Nick Saban going to give it up? I mean, he's losing quite a bit lately.
Yeah, that's bad take, Jay. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's certainly listen. You might be able to show me a video and say he could have scored. You could maybe argue he would have scored. It was not a walk-in touchdown. We need to work on our definition of walk-in. That is a word too loosely used, in my opinion.
Walk-in would be the one at Tuscaloosa where Tennessee and Jared Garantano goes over the top. That was a walk-in touchdown for Crouch.
Yeah, and it turned out it was a walk-in touchdown for. I don't even remember the Alabama player that recovered it, but
yeah, who was that? Was that Diggs?
That I think was I don't know that in my opinion was the most. That was the final. Not even that play necessarily. The fact that Jared Garantano started the next game, that was a final nail in the coffin of Jimmy Pruitt is in way over his head.
Yeah. Also, he said Michael Penix, pack it up. We want JT Shroud.
I don't blame him. Shroud was a freak. And honestly, some people forget he benched like 450 pounds.
Yeah. Good win. Finished out on a high note, 9-4. Definitely not the season you probably wanted, but again, you ended well. Big off season for a lot of guys. Well, let's talk next season a little bit. We do have some questions. I can kind of get to those as we kind of dive in. First one is amazing golf ball whacker guy. Says, who's in the running for the portal tackle we have to get? I've seen some things about Diego Pounds, the North Carolina tackle, who I think started every game for them. Also the Kansas tackle, Armaj Reeds Adams. I think he started all 11 games that he played in this year at right tackle. So I think he's somebody to keep an eye on. I think he's 2 years of eligibility left. Same with Diego Pounds. And I know people have Lance Hurd, the LSU tackle, who I think was, a really highly touted prospect last year. I think he's related to Jeremiah Hurd, which is a Tennessee signee. So there's kind of a, connecting the dots a little bit.
He was a freshman last year, correct?
Yeah.
Did he play any at LSU, or is this he's not an immediate impact guy, is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, couldn't tell you. He
Okay.
redshirted, I'm pretty sure. So I think he has 4 years of eligibility left.
We love eligibility. Gives him 3 more to transfer, baby. Yeah, I mean, you definitely need some help at that position. I think, and I'll give credit to a couple guys played there in the bowl game, but played okay. But yeah, you're for a long season in the SEC, you're gonna need some bodies for sure, and
only one
bodies.
guy now, well, maybe 2, depending on if Jackson Lampley is going to start for you, but potentially one starter will start next season for with Nico at quarterback, and that's Cooper. Which is pretty insane because
That is
going in, I was like, oh, we're going to have this guy back, and it turns out, nope.
Yeah. Having Cooper Mays, I think that I was talking to someone about that actually, that exact point. The first 4 games of the season showed you that Cooper Mays is the biggest. It wasn't even Joe or Nico, maybe. It was Cooper Mays was the biggest factor for this offense this season.
Yeah.
The team that played later in the season, that played Kentucky on the road, beat Vanderbilt, obviously beat Texas A&M, beat South Carolina. Those teams all beat Florida soundly. Now, maybe not in the swamp because what we do in the swamp, so maybe things don't change. But that Florida game was just inexcusable.
Yeah,
on so many levels. It's not even a lot of things Cooper couldn't help, but he seemed to be, in my opinion, the biggest difference maker.
Yeah, Josh said John Campbell was a starter. Yeah, but he didn't start the bowl game. That's what we're talking about.
Bingo. Don, can you cash out that national championship bet?
He did say Nico does need to put on 20 to 30 pounds. Somebody brought up a good point. Amazing golf ball whacker guy says also Nico's the same weight as Jaden Daniels. Tired of hearing how he's too skinny. Can you discuss how he always put weight on these guys? I mean, I think if you're going to take hits in the SEC, like Jaden Daniels took a lot of hits.
Jaden Daniels was banged up a lot.
Yeah, and number one, I mean, his offensive line was bad, and that's kind of why he took some hits. But, I mean, you don't want to see your quarterback just getting freaking lit up. Like, you don't want to see potential, like, once a game where they have to review for targeting on Jaden Daniels. You don't want that. So I think that's why you maybe want to put on some weight. Also, like, just longevity.
Yeah.
You can't ask Nico to run 15 times and get tackled or hit on all those plays and expect him to go a full season in the SEC. Jaden Daniels did it, won a Heisman. But, man, like, one of those hits could have gone wrong. But you can't play scared at the same time. You just kind of find that happy medium, I guess. You don't want to take unnecessary hits.
Yeah, you definitely don't. I don't. You can't argue that putting on more weight's a good thing. You can't. Does he need to? To be seen. He could. He could afford it. I'll say that.
Yeah. Good weight.
Yeah, I mean, we
don't want no Deacon Hill out there.
It is a hoss, and his backup wasn't much smaller, honestly.
Yeah, they've been eating good at Iowa. They got a good meal plan over there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby.
Got some more questions. Who do you think this is a basketball question. I'll wait for that one.
Okay.
I thought we had another one. All of everything. If you were Josh Heupel, would you consider trying Pierce at linebacker opposite of Peely due to our depth at defensive end and his versatility? Young linebackers need more time to develop, in my opinion.
James Pierce is probably the last person I'm changing his position.
Yeah, you're leaving him. He can play. Actually, he can play whatever position he wants. If he wants to
Okay.
play linebacker, sure.
Okay.
But I think his best spot is on the edge. So I don't think you mess with that. Also,
Yeah.
like I like our linebackers. Now, this is a big offseason for them, but having Keenan Peely there, and then you have Arian Carter, Jeremiah T-Lander, Elijah
Yeah.
Herring, Caleb Perry. I think you're pretty set at linebacker. I'm interested in who's the opposite of James Pierce this next year.
Yeah. Honestly, I think. I think defense. You're kind of looking to find a couple key guys, but also looking to build depth this offseason. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Number one, James Pierce has just been successful. Number two, then who really who takes over for James Pierce? Because if you lose James Pierce there, what would be the reason? Who's behind him that's going to be James Pierce?
Yeah.
I don't know. I digress.
Yeah, we mentioned the veterans kind of coming back on offense. That Cooper, John Campbell, Javonte Spraggins. You got Brew back, which I think is huge. Not just from a talent standpoint. I mean, he just brings so much to the table. Leadership, number one. And he's just an all-time kid. I mean, like the NIL deal with the defibrillators, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's such a big part in that screen game. It was a lot different when he was out for the year. Tennessee didn't get those screens to go for first downs because Brew wasn't out there blocking.
I mean,
those 10 to 12-yard gains turned into 4 to 5-yard gains because of Brew.
And that's one reason I said that Alabama game I think is a lot different if Brew McCoy's still playing for Tennessee.
Yeah.
That second half I think is different. I don't know if we still win it. I think it's a lot different though.
Yeah. And I think he's just always he's a safety valve. Even if he's not open, if he's not able to get his hands on it, it's going to be an incomplete pass. No one's going to wrestle it away from him. And if a corner is over there, he's just going to bully him until it's incomplete.
Right.
And then Samson and Squirrel, I mean, just a ton of veterans.
Dude, and I know he's not a veteran. Seldon looks good. He looks as advertised.
Yep. He's a big dude, 6'2".
Right.
Yeah, and he didn't look out of place either.
No, honestly.
I mean, he looked like he belonged there, and I don't know, Nico and Cam Seldon, I don't know if they read the scouting report on Iowa and how good they are or looked into that at all, because it just seemed like it didn't bother them a bit.
Didn't hurt him?
No.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Also, next year, I'm interested in what we see at tight end. New group there. Holden Stays. Ethan Davis. You have a freshman coming in. Yeah, that's totally different than what you had. McAllen Castles was a huge part in this season, and I think he will be missed. Now, I'm interested to see who is their H-back. I'm assuming it's Holden Stays, but it is such a huge part in what this offense does.
Right.
And who's that third wide receiver? You got Brew, you got Squirrel, Brazel, you got Dante Thornton, you got Nimrod and Webb, Mike Matthews is a 5-star.
Yeah, I feel like Nimrod and Webb have, at least they, for whatever, not in my eyes, from what I can tell from the coaching staff, they seem to be fairly pleased with them, the amount of playing time they've gotten. I don't think it's necessarily shown all the time while they've gotten it, but the coaching staff has seemed to like what they're getting from them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it will be Brazel just because he's been productive at Tulane. I mean, freshman All-American. But I don't know. Does Dante Thornton enter the portal because he can again?
I've seen some rumors. Do you think they're true?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, he had a perfect opportunity this year to really, like, with the injuries, to really show out, and he just didn't. I'm not sure why he was at. He looked so much better when he was on the outside other than the slot, but yeah, he just had plenty of opportunities and just didn't take advantage of it, in my opinion.
Right. I don't know if you have anything else for next season. I did want to tell everyone about something though. Excuse me.
Okay.
Honestly, something I could use right now. A little tired, a little sick, and I know a nice warm cup of coffee would cure me. I know it'd cure all. I'd go to sleep tonight though, so it might not be the best idea. But if I was gonna do it, I know where I'd go. I'd go to Grade A Grounds. Grade A is a local coffee roasting company in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's owned by Billy Miller and Kurt. Oh my gosh, I should have known this. Douch. We're going with that. They're teachers in Johnson City. And if you know teachers, you know they love coffee. So they started this coffee company. It is obviously to bring us the great coffee, but also 5% of their sales are donated back to the Coalition for Kids. That money goes directly to classrooms in the Tri-Cities area. So, guys, you're getting great coffee. You're helping kids in classrooms. You're helping teachers in classrooms. Don't get Landon started. His wife is draining their bank account every year for supplies, I'm sure. So go get great coffee. Go support kids in our local area. Grade A is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They are, I hate to tell you guys, they're out of Vallsickle. That was through the beginning or the end of December there, the end of 2023. It'll be back. Good news. They've got plenty of great coffee. In the meantime, go check out their inventory. Also, you'll notice all their labels have been printed, have been made by students. So great company, great coffee. We're excited to partner with them. Make sure you use promo code Go Vols. Shout out to Grade A Grounds.
Shout out. So I did have a little bit more. I just kind of want to go through some questions I had, and that's defensive back.
Ooh.
I mean, just totally new group next year. And I think you got some good play from Jordan Thomas and Andre Turrentine. Later on in the year, Ricky Gibson. You also add some portal guys. Where do they fit into the equation? The young guys, big offseason for them, like Ricky Gibson, Jordan Matthews, Christian Conyer, John Slaughter. What kind of does this secondary look like going into next season?
Yeah, I think if you're wanting to know how to impact the portal, I think the best and biggest way is secondary. That's where you go. I mean, if you look at positions on the field, they seem to play fairly young at many other positions. They don't at DB. They play who they've got as your senior guy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they go out and get someone that is impactful here. I don't disagree that some of these guys came along. I mean, Turrentine obviously had that interception in the bowl game. Looked good. Why wasn't he playing all year, though? Or then, I guess I should say, because I don't know where I stand on if he's better than certain guys. But what? Like, when I say playing, wasn't on the field for much of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't know where you go with this. Go get everyone. Go offer everyone.
Yeah, why is Gabe Judy-Lally playing in the fourth quarter up 5 touchdowns against Iowa when he was going to declare for the draft? And maybe that was his decision after the game, but I mean, if he had already made up his mind that I just don't know what that gives you.
Right.
I don't know. That whole defensive back has the whole secondary this whole year has been a question mark for me. Just like what are we doing back there?
Man, I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you're not doing any of those young guys any favors, but you're also not doing yourself any favors by doing it.
No, and I wanted Willie Martinez, and I still want both of them and Tim Banks to work out. But man, that secondary seemed to almost get worse. I don't know if the stats will support me. That is from motion purely. They seemed to almost get worse as the season went along.
Yeah, I know losing Kamal Hadden was huge.
Yeah, so I guess they did effectively get worse. You're right.
Yeah. But the guys you put in after Kamal left has now entered the portal. So like you didn't help yourself any out for next year.
Well, that mass exodus was kind of weird, right? Like you saw like everyone should get a chance to play next year. Okay, why are we leaving? That was a weird mass exodus.
Yeah, I think some like Warren Burrell wasn't going to play any here. The Nico Slaughter was a weird one for me.
Which is wild. Do you remember? I believe it was Warren Burrell's freshman year. We heard that there was one corner that was shutting down Cedric Tillman in camp. Warren Burrell.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard his name over the loudspeaker at Neyland after that. I don't know if I did.
Yeah, he started that 1 year, and then after that, it was done. Yeah, that's going to be a big position to watch him. Jermon McCoy, I think he's a dude. I think he definitely starts at corner. I would say Ricky Gibson, and then Turrentine. Jordan Thomas is probably your star, and then Jacoby Thomas, I guess. Maybe John Slaughter at safety. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Again, going to be a huge offseason for that whole group.
Yeah.
To see who gets that figured out. Does any of the freshmen factor? Boo Carter, Caleb Beasley, could they factor in some point?
I hope so, because I feel like we've refused to play younger guys, and that scares me at that position.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be open.
Yeah.
Again, because like you didn't play anybody, so like those freshmen have just as much experience as a lot of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, offensive line. I'm wondering if any of those freshmen can, land a good bit of those guys in the recruiting class. Can like any of those push those older guys and have some sort of playing time or have some sort of competition in fall camp, spring practice?
Let me ask you a different question. What freshman do you want to make an impact? That matter position. Who do you see right now? You're like, I want them on the field. I think they can be impactful. I want them.
I think Boo Carter number one.
Okay.
Mike Matthews is probably another one.
Do you think either of them or one maybe rather than the other has a better shot?
Well, I think Boo Carter is probably going to be your returner.
Okay. What happens with? Well, I know. I'm out of it right now.
D. Williams.
D. Williams.
He said he's going to the. I think he's out of eligibility.
He's out of eligibility?
Yeah, he came from junior college.
Oh, I don't know if I realized that. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did we not see him at all on Saturday? That's a little crazy, right? Or Monday.
We didn't really get. I mean, they had two returners back there, which I thought was weird.
I'm talking about one kickoff return.
Oh, just being on the field.
Just being on the field. That's
know.
crazy. You can't say it's to get guys experience. We didn't do that.
Yeah, seeing Jordan Ross in the Under Armour game, I definitely think he's probably. I think that's probably your deepest position though, with James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, Caleb Herring. Might be tough to get him on the field, but
right.
They do rotate those guys quite a bit. So I do think he can have an impact like David Hobbs had an impact. I think Tyree Weathersby would have played if he wasn't injured all season. Tyree West, they I think they're pretty much set up front.
Okay.
Like they'll just figure it out talent-wise, but they got a ton of talent.
Right. Okay. I like that.
What about you? Do you have any that you're thinking?
That I want to see. I think it's that, or are you going back to your original question? Where do we kind of What question? Sorry, I guess.
I'm talking about the freshman.
Right.
Like,
which
which one? Which
Okay.
one do you want to see him back?
Yes. I think the one that stands out to me that I want to see, and it's because of kind of mixing in both those questions. Positions need, exciting player, it's Boo Carter. You kind of need him to be impactful.
Yeah.
And wherever he can be impactful at.
He's another guy I'm like, hey, where do you want to play? And that's where you'll play.
I think the only place I don't play him as a receiver because I'm like, hey, we'll let you return the football, but we really need you to play defensive back.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah, that's probably his easiest path to the field.
I kind of want him to play a lot there. And I don't like saying I want a freshman to play there. But
he's a little different. Also, Bennett Warren, 6'8".
The room's also spinning right now. So what do you want me to do?
Bennett Warren, 6'8". I mean, we need a tackle. That seems like a tackle body no-brainer for me. Now, I know that's difficult, but Darnell Wright did it. Wanya Morris did it. Trey Smith did it.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, prove him right. Sorry, prove him right. Do not prove him wrong.
All right. That's kind of all I got for next season.
I didn't really hop in on the Brew returning train. Brew McCoy returning. That might be the biggest return.
Since Trey?
I'm going to hot take. Trey, God love him. Did he need to? Should he have? Did it matter?
I mean, I guess like looking back, no, but
Brew could be the biggest, whatever you want to call him, because I don't know how many years he's at now. Biggest return since Peyton Manning. He could be. If Don McAllister is right, he's got 100 on Nico winning an Natty. He's got him Heisman talks. If Don McAllister's right, Brew McCoy might be the biggest comeback in college football history. If Nico wins even 10 games, a lot of credit's going to go to Brew McCoy next year. It's going to be because he has a guy like Brew.
And I do think a lot of those guys don't make that decision if they didn't believe in Nico to win them football games.
You mentioned Cooper, and when Cooper said he was probably going to come back, because I guess he hadn't technically announced it yet, but he was more than likely going to come back. And you said that you think he believes him. I said, 50-50 could be a lot of factors. That's probably one of them, sure. Brew McCoy and most of the offensive line returning, I 100% agree with you now.
Yeah.
They have a lot of faith in him, and I've seen him play, I guess. So that.
Yeah.
I didn't say 100 on Nico winning Heisman. I just said you were asking about Nico winning like 12 games next year. What do we think? I don't know. I don't even know if I've looked at the schedule, Don. If we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I
there's a lot of ifs statements in there, and I realize that.
I just know I'm going to talk myself into at least 10-2 by the time the season gets long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe 11-1. Who knows? We might. I mean, shit, we're going undefeated.
Go ahead, do it. 11-1, baby.
Can't go 15-0 until you go 1-0, baby.
That's right. Don't forget it.
All right, let's talk some basketball real quick. Before we do, guys, go check out rowback.com. Promo code, More Important Issues, get you 20% off your first purchase. They have polos, Q-zips, hoodies, T-shirts, shorts, joggers, pants, whatever you need, they got it. Best clothing, best quality. Polos don't wrinkle. When you get them out of the washer, get them out of the dryer, they still got a little wrinkle to them. Not these. Rowback.com. Again, promo code More Important Issues. Work in them, golf in them, whatever you need to do. Do it. They work for both. I wore a rowback today.
Did
would
you?
say I'm wearing
Was that a
rowback.
rowback?
Huh?
Was that a rowback?
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Yeah, that's a rowback.
Just making sure.
Yeah, man. Always representing the brand. So go check them out. 20% off your first purchase. Promo code More Important Issues.
Do it right now. Hit it.
Tennessee basketball is back. It feels like we're starting a new season after we didn't play for what it seemed like months. Finally played again. Norfolk State. I mean, it was a slow start, but we beat the brakes off of them.
I feel like they mentioned how many days of rest we had so many times.
Yeah. How many was it?
10. I know that because they mentioned it a lot. At least
Only 10 days?
I'll double check it. I kept like they kept saying it. So it was, what day was that game?
It felt like so much longer than that. But I guess like the holidays.
January 2nd. And then we last played. Show me the day of that game.
21st.
December. Wait, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong one. We
Yeah,
played on the
that's-
21st.
Yeah.
12 days. Right? 7. 12 days.
12 days of Christmas, baby. That's
Yeah,
what
why did they not mention that? Good Lord.
Yeah, that's a long time. It felt forever. So yeah, a little slow to start. Zakai had a big game. I think career high 5 threes in this one. Tennessee just cruised. I mean, I think the spread was like 24, won by 37. It's hard to really nitpick on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like that you mentioned it. Slow start really kind of for everyone. Dalton Connect seemed to find more of a groove. He also jumps out of the freaking gym at one point.
And I think he seems like he's back to 100% again.
Okay, I like that.
And you need that. You need him to get back to 100% for this team to reach their full potential.
If you want to make a run, Dalton Connect has to be good during March and April.
Yeah,
I mentioned April on purpose.
Also, Tobe, walking double-double.
Put it on him. $100.
21 minutes, he had 10 points, 11 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. I mean, the dude is a grinder. He's not on Grinder, which he might. I don't know. But
How would you know?
I don't know. I should. Stupid joke. Stupid Landon. Get out of here.
Can we rewind?
No.
No, to take it back, not to just hear it again. Take it back.
Yeah, let's take it back. Jonas Adu only plays 11 minutes. Apparently, he's dealing with an injury. Man, if Tennessee is going to beat Ole Miss on Saturday, Tobe Awaka's got to stay out of foul trouble and dominate the boards like he has.
I like that it's in Thompson at least. I do like that.
Matthew Morrell is still at Ole Miss. Don't know how. He's like John Fulgerson. Still there. I guess we have Josiah and Vescovi. They've been here for a while too.
We've got some old dudes on this roster.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely need Adu back. I don't know what his diagnosis is. Like what's injured, how long he's going to be out. Yeah, Tennessee needs him back. I thought Jemai played really well in this game. 3 for 4 from the field, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. He just seems like the best role player you could have.
Oh yeah, by far. It's good that he can be that too on this team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have so is Ole Miss as good as I hate to like look at I don't know if you have anything else for this game.
I don't. No, not really.
Also, the funny thing about Ole Miss fans being like, I told you all Chris Beard was still good. No one argued Chris Beard was a good basketball coach. We argued that he was arrested that year, and I don't know what came of it. I didn't keep up a read because I don't care. I'm not outraged by it. We argued that he was arrested for strangling his girlfriend. Had nothing to do with basketball.
Yikes.
You don't remember that?
Uh-uh. But yeah, I do remember that.
Texas.
Yeah, wow.
Ole Miss just said, we don't care. I guess charges were dropped. I'm sure. I just don't know what came of that.
Yeah, I mean, I do think this Ole Miss team is good. The problem is they haven't played anybody. They played one decent opponent, and that was Memphis, and beat them by 5. Now they did beat NC State by 20. Like, they've had some good wins, but like they haven't played like a tough schedule at all.
Yeah. It's not.
So yeah, they've won 13 games, but like when you really look at it, like they've had one tough opponent. Now they do have some good players. Matthew Morrell is good. Alan Flanagan, if that name sounds familiar, he was at Auburn for 7 years, and now he's at Ole Miss. And I think they're both putting up about 17 points per game. So yeah, Tennessee's going to have to defend them, keep them off the 3-point line, and stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I think good guard play, like we've seen, teams with good guards doesn't really bother Tennessee a whole lot because they play good defense. It's been the bigs that have give Tennessee trouble. Now, this team has 2 really good guards. Not a great inside presence. They want to score. Chris Beard's always wanted to score.
Yeah.
So Dalton Connect, Zakai, Josiah, Vescovi, and then Tobey inside. I think Tobey can have a really good game here with them not having much of an inside presence. You just kind of let him go in there and dominate.
Okay. Yeah, let him bang around. Make someone dare him to come in and hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, if Adu isn't back, you got to keep him out of foul trouble, though. That's going to be the only issue.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's just the case with all these teams. Keep guys out of foul trouble.
Yeah. I mean, they've put up points, but they beat UCF by 2. And they've dominated pretty much everybody they played, so. But I think this playing at Thompson's a different environment.
I hope it is Saturday, man. I really do. We need it to be. It's an early game, though, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so. I don't know if it's a nooner. No, it's 6 p.m. I was thinking it was 4 or something.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Should be bumping. It messes me up. I didn't think it was noon. I just thought it was earlier. But, they always, ESPN sometimes, I shouldn't say always, put your favorite at the top.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it pisses me off, but sometimes it does that. Kentucky, Florida play this week, too. I don't know is Florida any good this year? I don't know.
I know they got a really good guard. I can't remember his name.
Honestly, who's coaching in Florida now? I kind of forgot. I was thinking Mike White, but he's at Georgia.
I don't remember who they hired. They're 10-3.
Yeah.
They've lost to about everybody.
Everybody that matters.
They beat Michigan in overtime. It was 106-101, so I don't know how much defense they play.
How many Kumwa have in that game?
Probably 30. No, unless Florida has a good big. Then he probably had like 7.
I've already seen some Michigan beat writers complaining about Kumwa's inconsistencies.
They're 6-7, so they're not great.
I think he has one of the better percentages on their team, too.
Smart of him to go to a bad team where he can look the best.
Yeah. Honestly, it makes me mad that people are like ready for him to leave because I was like, best for him. Best for both parties, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like he made that decision with Tennessee in mind. I could be wrong, but it felt like it.
Yeah. All right. We got one more question as we move on from basketball. It is everything said, would you trade Nico for any college quarterback or for any quarterback in college football, taking into account eligibility remaining? I can't think of one.
I would kill for Quinn Ewers on my team next year, assuming he's returning. Guess we don't know. I see they haven't said anything, have they? Their season literally just ended too.
I don't know. I mean, he's back.
He's back for sure.
I think he was just
He's technically a sophomore, but remember he's been in college for 3 years.
That's right. Yeah, I guess he could, but
Penix has one more game. It'd be cool to play one game with Penix.
yeah.
It would be hard. Well, before I go there,
That's another thing. People are complaining about
Shadur.
like Nico sitting.
I'm probably taking Shadur right now. Everything we know.
I don't know.
You're taking a lot of potential with Nico, though.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, are you willing to trade that potential? Like it's tough.
It is. I mean, I think another one that's probably right on the line is Will Howard. That's just transferred to Ohio State tonight or today. He's probably a guy you consider with the potential. Sorry for what you trade Nico, potential for that. Jalen Milroe. I mean, how do you not right now with everything you know?
Oh, I'm not trading Jalen Milroe. Ain't no way. We can't forget he was benched. I understand he got him to the playoff. He was benched. He had some bad games. He had some bad games last year. I'm not trading him. I do think Will Howard.
We went into last season saying that Joe was probably the best quarterback in the SEC with what we knew, ahead of Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was far better than his worst games were better than Joe's worst games. Way better. He had a lot of talent around him. I'm not denying that, but
you really good offensive line too. That helps. Besides the center snapping the football.
Correct. He made a lot of big time. Like he was a big time players made big time plays and big time moments. Like he was that guy this year.
I just don't think I trade him.
I mean, don't.
I mean, I think the only one that I would probably trade and he's gone is probably your Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels. And Caleb Williams, I'd probably trade to have him.
So you wouldn't trade for like Michael Penix if we're taking players who are gone. JJ McCarthy?
Well, he doesn't have another year left. Like Caleb Williams has a year left.
I'm just saying, you mentioned Jaden Daniels too.
I think he technically has a year left too. Yeah, I guess I would probably trade.
JJ McCarthy has a year left.
Here's the thing I would trade. I would trade a lot for Washington's wide receivers.
Okay.
McMillan, Adunze. I would trade some very valuable assets for those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I mean, and a lot of it is just based off one game and off potential. But I mean, this kid was number one player in the country.
Yeah, but Arch Manning was number 2, and now he's number 3 on his own roster.
Which is wild to me that people are just like, dude, I can't believe Nico's sitting. You know, all these people are playing freshman quarterbacks. Arch Manning is sitting there. I mean, he's not going to play another year if he stays at Texas. That's insane to me.
Unless what's his name transfers. Which I doubt it. No, other guy. Backup. Can't think of his name.
Murphy?
then it'll at least be second string.
Well, Malik
Malik
Murphy already he's gone to Duke.
Oh, okay. There you go. Simple.
But that's still, I mean, he's going to sit another year. And what if Ewers wants to come back for another year? I don't know.
No chance Ewers comes back a second time.
Probably not. But the off chance he does is, I mean, is Arch going to stay there again?
Well, I think then you transfer. You have immediate eligibility. It doesn't really hurt to not at this point.
Yeah. I'm cool if we have Nico for 2 more years and Arch finishes his career at Tennessee. That'd be cool.
That'd be a pretty insane story.
That would be.
I won't bank on it. I wouldn't bank on it happening, but pretty insane.
Yeah. That's kind of all I got. Let's you got any stupidities? Oh, I had a tweet with Gerald Mincy in it today, and people were still saying Mincy's leaving. Like I don't freaking know.
Hey, guys, this isn't a stupidity directed to anybody or anything. This isn't really a stupidity. Just a friendly reminder. Not everything needs to be posted on social media. Oh.
Yeah. Also, maybe stay out of DMs.
Oh, yeah. What is going on? He was in our chat tonight. Well, apparently the page got bought, but did you see that?
Yeah. Apparently it's a different.
Yeah, it still said Rocky Topology though. There.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
I like how you said stay out of DMs and not like don't try to get with young girls.
Yeah, I think it's just safe, like a very broad, maybe just.
Maybe friendly reminder now the Epstein client list is out.
Yeah, maybe just stay out. It might help you out some.
Jeffrey Epstein was a bad person, no matter what he told you.
Yeah, the person that bought it runs that Instagram account. They used to steal all of our stuff on Instagram, so I thought that was
used to.
Yeah, I mean he probably still does. There was a couple that I saw today. I went back and looked, and there was a couple where he like gave credit to somebody. It was our stuff. He gave credit to somebody else. So I don't know.
Nice.
I'm like, what?
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I don't really think I have any.
I don't know if I have any. I mean, I'm ready to sign off. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
ready
cool.
for bed.
That's cool. Lee Corso is the smartest guy on College Game Day. Just want to throw that.
Okay. How'd that happen?
He was the only one that picked Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So Kurt.
Glad we get the old delusional guy to side with us. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Says a lot that Lee Corso is the smartest one. Currently. Yeah, guys, that's all we got. Do we have one more person to talk about?
Memento. Guys, go download Memento. It's an app. It's in the App Store for Google and iOS. Memento is an app for sports fans who love going to games. It allows college football fans to track the games they've been to, see their stats, upload photographs and game ratings, and even tag friends that you went with. Top of college football, Memento also supports college basketball. So if you're going Saturday, make sure you enter that. It also supports NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and global soccer. Guys, Memento is one of my favorite social media apps. Go download it right now. Add me at Caleb Mitch, add Landon at LamboRayB10. Add your games. Excuse me. Track your stats. Excuse me. And they even have live scores now. So they're getting better. They'll have live stats soon. Memento is the app for sports fans. Go download today.
Do it. Guys, thanks again for listening. We'll be back on Sunday talking about, I'm sure we'll talk about the transfer portal because it's just a never-ending thing. And we'll talk basketball. Tennessee plays Ole Miss at 6 on Saturday. Be there at Thompson Bowling Arena, Food City Center. It should be Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center. That's just my opinion.
Correct, and that's what we were told it was going to be, and now they just say Food City Center. So,
Yeah.
are they lied to us about a change that people wouldn't like? No, never.
Danny White loves that money, though. Love that money.
I don't think they got enough money though.
Yeah, they just keep asking for it. We keep giving it to them. I don't know. There's going to come a maybe that comes to an end one day. We'll see.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks again. We love y'all. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.